Hello, welcome to the Google Drive training. So this is going to be just a screencastify to kind of summarize and go through everything that we went through in the live session. So this training is about just the Google Drive. So our goal will be how to utilize and organize your Google Drive. So what is G Suite, or why do we use it? It's a cloud-based collaboration. It has unlimited storage. So with our G Suite for Education accounts, we have unlimited storage. If you have a personal G Suite account, your storage might be limited, or you might have warnings about reaching maximum levels. But with our G Suite for Education accounts, we have unlimited storage. Cloud-based productivity tools that are accessible anytime, anywhere. And so looking at kind of the future in the world outside of education, most businesses and industries are moving to where they expect their employees to be able to be accessible anytime, anywhere. And so G Suite allows us to practice that and also have our students get used to some of the tools and platforms that they might be using when they're out of our schools. So we're going to take a look at Google Drive today. So first, the browser that we recommend is Google Chrome. When our students are on Chromebooks, that is the browser that they have. They don't have any other options. And it's just the recommended browser for BCSC staff as well. So when you know you're in Google Chrome, is up in the top right corner here, and we'll do focus mouse here so you can see this top right corner up here. You'll see my picture because I have a Bitmoji associated with my Google account, but it may just be your initial. And then just above that here, you should also see that same icon. That means you're signed into your Chrome account. All of your extensions, your bookmarks, everything, as long as you're signed into Chrome, it doesn't matter what device you're on, you should see those. If you click on that picture there, you should then see your school account, and you'll see here where it says sync is on. So if you do not see your picture there or your initial, you'll want to click there and make sure that you turn sync on. So make sure you're signed into your Google account and then signed into your Google Drive. That's where you will see those. So now we'll kind of get into Google Drive. So getting to Google Drive, there are several different ways that you can get there. First is by opening up a tab and going to Google. And you'll see this, what I like to call the square of squares. I know some other people, like Brittany, likes to call it the waffle because waffles make her happy, right? So, but whatever you want to call this area, that's where you're going to be able to navigate to your Google Drive. You can also go in a Google search and go to just Google Drive. And you'll see here it's google.com/drive, and then you'll click go to drive. That'll take you to your drive. So that's another way. You can also have it bookmarked. I have my drive bookmarked here in my bookmark bar, so I can just click there. If you're on a desktop computer, not a Chromebook, you can have a link on your desktop as well that you can just click to get to your Google Drive. So that's an option for you as well. So once you're in Google Drive, there are a few things to kind of know, or features that are used often. So first is this new tab. So anytime you're putting a document, a presentation, some type of file or folder in your Drive, you're going to do it here through New. So if you click New, you can see you have a few options. First is just to create a new folder. That'll be empty. You can name it whatever you want. For kind of whatever organization system you're going to use, but that's to put a new folder in your Drive, which you can see here. I have a lot of folders here that I have created, but that's how you get a new folder in your Drive. The next two options say upload, file upload and folder upload. So this would be if you have documents on your device, on your desktop, on stored on the hard drive of your computer, or if you're at school and on the network, any documents that you have stored in your iDrive, you can use the file or folder upload to upload those documents to Google or those files. So if it's one single document, you can use file upload. If you have a whole folder of resources that you want to now put into Google, then you would use folder upload. And so what you would do is you would click that. You'll navigate to wherever on your computer you have that folder. You would click then on that folder and then click file upload. You will see then if you want to upload all of those, you'd click upload. And then down here in the corner, you would get a message saying that how much time you have left and kind of the status of that upload. Once that's done, then that whole folder of resources would appear in your Google Drive. And it's the exact same process if it's just a single file. You would click New File Upload, navigate to that individual file, and click Open. And then it will put that in your Google Drive for you. You'll also use the New button if you're adding a brand new Google document. So whether it's a doc, sheet, slides, form, drawing, Jamboard, whatever it is, you're going to go to New. You'll see the big three, docs, sheets, and slides will come up first. But then if you go to More, that's where you get the whole menu of kind of all the other things that you can add as well. So Google Forms is one of my favorite tools, but it's not kind of one of the big three or the most used like those are. So you just have to go down here to More. And that's where you're going to see the forms, drawings, maps, and sites. So anything that you are adding to Google Drive, whether it's a brand new document or something you've already created that you're going to upload, you're going to do here through this new icon. Now, when I'm creating new files and folders, I always operate through my Drive. You do have the option of actually going to the site that's just for Google Docs or the site that's just for Google Slides. But when you're creating those documents there, they're coming here to your Google Drive as well. And you're also limited to just docs or just slides on those sites. So I always like to operate everything that I'm making out of Google Drive. One, because it's easier to organize as I make it. And two, just because I like to be able to operate all of the systems out of this one platform. Instead of having to go to each of those different sites, I can do everything that I need right here within Google Drive. And it's going to make the organization of my Drive so much easier to manage. So one tip when you're creating a new document is if you already have a folder created that's for that theme or for that topic, go to that folder first. So say I'm creating something for the Summer Institute this summer. I go ahead and go to that folder. Now I'm going to go to New in Presentation. And now this new presentation that I just opened is already stored in the correct folder on my Drive. What happens is if I'm just in my Drive and I go to New Presentation or Google Slides, it's just going to open a new slideshow that's stored down here in kind of the abyss of everything that is not organized in my Google Drive. So I really want to try to be as conscious as I can when I am creating new documents, whether it's a doc, a slide, a form, and I want to start in the folder that I'm going to want it to be stored in. So it's already there, and I don't wind up with this massive amount of files that need to be organized or sorted. Now, if I have files that aren't in the folder where they need to be, I can still get them there, but it's just easier to do it on the front end. So try to remember to open up whatever folder you're going to want to store that in first and then create the document. But say I have forgotten, or say you're like myself and you have a lot of documents down here that you've already created and you haven't sorted into folders, you can still move those and sort them into folders. And you have a couple different ways. One is within this presentation, you can go to File and then Move. And you'll see the little kind of folder next to it with the arrow. And then it will also appear here next to the star in the name. And when you click on either one of those, it's going to be the same thing. It's going to basically give you an organization or a navigational view of your whole Drive. And then you can scroll through and you can pick whatever folder you want and then click Move. And then it's going to tell you that it's organizing. and you'll get a message here saying that it has been moved. So you can still organize it from the individual document. Or if you have a lot of things that you're sorting, you can just come down here into your drive. You can click on one individually. You can hit shift and you can select multiple that you can then click and drag and pull up to whatever folder you want them to be in up here at the top and just drop them in there. It's the same way for the trash. If you have something you want to delete, you can click and actually just drag it into the trash and drop it there. The good thing with the trash is when we click and look at the trash, unless you click empty trash up here, these documents aren't going anywhere. They're going to stay here. Remember, we have that unlimited storage, so there's not really any reason why you would need to click empty trash. So if you've deleted something and you didn't mean to, you can always come back, grab it, and then we can restore. And then it's going to go back into your drive. So just because you put something in the trash, it's not gone forever. You can still access it. So one of the things that I like to do is for some folders, it's easier for me to find them if I color code them. So for instance, in Screencastify, when you have a Screencastify account and you record a video, it automatically shoots it to a folder that it titles Screencastify. But I am part of a team drive where I also have another folder within that where I have saved and created Screencastifys with a group. So when I would search for Screencastify to find that folder, I was having this one and this one, two folders that says Screencastify come up. So I'm either going to need to like rename one or do something to distinguish one from the other so that when I'm searching for it or looking for it, I'm not having to click on both of them to figure out which one I'm trying to go into. So when you right click on a folder, one of the options is to rename. So you could rename one of them. Or if you don't want to rename it because they're both Screencastify files, you can change the color of one. So what I did is I changed the color of my Screencastify folder that has just my individual videos in it pink. So now when I search for Screencastify, I know this is the folder that I want for just the videos that I have created. So that's just, again, another little tip or trick for sorting and organizing all of your files or folders by changing the color of some of those folders. All right, so that's your My Drive. I know one question in the live session asked about kind of the organization of this, and it pretty much is going to store them or sort them alphabetically. But if you want to have a different view, this is kind of the grid view, you can come up here and change it to list view. I did that up here in the top corner, kind of next to the I under the BCSC. And here you're going to see it sorted by name in a list. So you could click the arrow next to name and you could sort it alphabetically in reverse or alphabetically going forwards. You can also come over here to last modified and you can sort it by last modified. You can sort it by last modified by me or last opened by me. So these are kind of the different ways that you can sort those or look at them. I prefer the grid view just because I have so many folders, it makes it easier to see. That list view goes on a little ways, so I like to have it in the grid view. All right, so below My Drive, we're going to see shared drives. These are drives where you can kind of co-own, co-collaborate on documents with a small group of people. I typically only use these when working on like committees or other groups of colleagues. Some of the share features are a little bit different if you are sharing this with people who are not in the actual shared drive. But it is nice in that if somebody is in the drive and they are a BCSC employee and then they move on and are no longer a BCSC employee, all of those files will stay in this shared drive once they leave. So that is an option that maybe grade levels or departments or committees would choose to then utilize this feature. Below shared drives, you're going to see shared with me. If you just want to look at and see documents that people have shared with you, this is a place to come. It just is going to kind of narrow down what you see from your drive. It'll also give you some quick access, maybe people who are frequently sharing things with you. and then just give it kind of a narrower view of what you're looking for. If you know it's something somebody has shared with you recently, it's going to show up here organized by if they've shared it today, yesterday, last week, this month, or last month. So just kind of helps sort those. I operate a lot out of this tab that says recent. So when you click on recent, these are going to be files that you have opened within, the last day, week, month, and so on. So if it's something that I know that I've opened just a couple days previously, and I don't want to search for it or go through my drive or remember what folder it's in, I'll just click on recent, and then that's going to pull up pretty quickly. Now you see here in mine, because I just uploaded that file from my desktop, all of those files that I just uploaded are going to show up here in recent. So I would have to scroll down a little bit further then to find the actual documents that I've been working on recently. Below recent is starred. These are going to be files that when you've had them open, next to the name, you've clicked on that yellow star. And what happens when you click on that yellow star is that's going to show up here in just this starred folder. Now, I wouldn't put a ton of stuff in my starred. I would only put the 10 to 20 at the most things that I know I need to access frequently, or things that I'm going to need to be able to find again and again. So like a 2-hour delay schedule, or just a schedule for a conference that I was attending, just something that you're going to need to access over and over again, and you're not going to want to search. So those kind of frequent flyer documents, you can star them, and then you just have to click on starred, and those will show up here. Kind of the point of those starred is that you can find them quickly, so that's why I wouldn't star just everything or anything that comes across. Make sure you're starring things that are those items that you're going to want to access over and over again. And then we've talked about trash a little bit, in that unless you empty trash, you should be able to retrieve anything from your trash that you need. So that would still be here in your trash, and you can search for that. All right, so now speaking of search, once you use your Google Drive, you will find that you quickly, almost exponentially, it feels like at times, have documents added to your drive, and it can get overwhelming. So this search is like the best thing ever. There are lots of different ways that you can search. You can search by a title of a document, just a single word that's in a title of a document, or with a word that's within the document. You can search by who shared the document with you or who owns it. You can search by types of documents. So we'll kind of look at that quickly here. So just the word wonder. So if I search that, I know there was a document that had to do with the novel Wonder, and so I'm going to search that. I don't remember what I called it. And all of those documents then that have Wonder in the title are going to show up first as you kind of scroll down through. So that can help you if you just know a single word that's in the title or in the document. You can also search by type of document. I know a type of document that I search by frequently are drawings. I seem like I can't ever remember what I title my Google Drawings. And so I can search by clicking on the type of document here if I know it was a PDF I uploaded, or if like Google Drawings isn't there, I can click Advanced Search. Now I can go to Type. I can now select Drawings, search, and then any Google drawing that I've created is going to show up here now. So that's just, I don't have as many Google Drawings as I do other types of documents. So that would be easy or quick for me to be able to then find a Google Drawing that I've created. The other way that I like to search is by the owner, the person who shared the document with me. So you can click on a person's name here, but if that doesn't show up, you can always just start typing. And then you'll have users from within BCSC that have shared things with you start to show up here. So then you just click on the person's username, and then all the documents that they have shared with you will show up. So I know that's something that I like to do a lot as well. And say I know Brittany has shared something with me, I can click on her username, and then all of those documents she's shared with me will pull up. So it just kind of helps narrow down what I'm looking for, because I do not always remember what I've titled things. And I definitely don't save the emails that I get when somebody has shared something with me. I usually delete those after I've opened it once. So coming back and searching by the person's name is very, very helpful. And that you just do in that search bar at the top. So those are kind of some of the key things that we talked about within our organization, navigation, and kind of usage of our Google Drive. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to myself or to Brenny, and we are happy to help you. So I hope this was useful. Bye.